Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the next blue light hotspot is we'll say the country or the area of Afghanistan. So my name is Nancy Rebecca, and I'm a registered nurse, psychic clairvoyant. Been doing this work for 30 years, and I have read many cities and many countries around the world, but I have really gotten into frequencies and celestial cosmic blue light that has come through. But as a registered nurse, I'm mostly interested in how all of that impacts your personal human frequency. And I also do a little deep dive as a registered nurse in what's going on inside of you that impacts your human frequency. So you're going to find, if you're new to my channel, you're going to find a wide range, a variety of things that I talk about, and ultimately how it might be impacting your human energy field. Because why? When we have big shifts on the earth and our stomach feels sick, or we get headaches, or we have insomnia, those are all kinds of what we can call ascension symptoms. But sometimes it's just you might be sensitive enough to feel an earthquake that's halfway around the world, and for some reason you feel unsettled that day. So I think ultimately I'm trying to raise your awareness of how you are a multidimensional energetic being. You are a soul having a human experience. All right, so now let me make this big leap, because today I'm taking a big leap, and I welcome you to join with me with an enormous open-mindedness and curiosity, and let's just see, where it goes for us. So when the three big surges, the final of the three, what am I going to say? There were the celestial blue light frequencies that came through in 2019, in 2021, and in 2023. And in 2023, in the month of November, there were three enormous surges that came from what I can determine is from the planet Sirius. I'm trying to think. Orion's belt, the constellation, I don't know, somewhere around there. Don't hold me to it, but I've said it enough times, I should know it, right? And then it supercharged these blue crystals in the earth, and it's almost like heating up rocks that can hold that heat for a long time. So this blue light comes to the earth, supercharges these blue crystals. There's a really dark color like lapis, kind of like the color of my earring, and supercharged that. And so I started making these blue light hotspot videos because the blue light comes up through the earth. So you can watch more of those different areas that I've talked about before. So it was a couple of weeks ago, my spirit guides came through and they said, we really want you to talk about Afghanistan. So get ready to talk about Afghanistan as the next blue light hotspot, which I'm going to talk about today. But then in between, there were some really high frequencies coming through from Atlantis and Lemuria. So I've already made those videos. So then when I revisited, the spirit world said, all right, where is the next place you want me to talk about? And I do hear you all from Portugal. You're having some really incredible, curious, odd events that are happening, and a lot of you have written me. But when I asked about Portugal, it was like, no, we really need you to talk about Afghanistan first. So you might want to put your seatbelt on for this, because after I got the information, I thought, I'm out of the closet, but I don't know if I'm that far out of the closet. So I'm going to kind of describe to you a little bit about Afghanistan. So for those of us who live during this time on the earth, I think we've only ever known Afghanistan to be at war. I also, for us living in the United States, we also know that many of our soldiers were at war, that Afghanistan was a really core place. Now, but Afghanistan is so much more than that. Just like all the other countries in the world, before those border lines were drawn. We were just one big, huge, global Earth that had movements and shifts and changes. So when I do these talks, I'm trying to fit it within your little country that's outlined in the world, but where Spirit really wants me to focus on is the larger frequency that's happening in that area. So in every single video, I'm talking about the undercurrent, the original source of frequency. Why is it that chord on the guitar that's specific for that area? So I always go in and I always tune in to my intuition, which is what I did with Afghanistan, but something totally different happened. So let me give you a little bit of a history. For those intuitive archaeologists out there, I really want you to put on your intuitive hat because we're going to need more of your information. And for those of you who are well seasoned in it and experienced, who work with maybe the galactic world, that work with different star systems, star beings, celestial beings, if you have a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge at those higher levels, then I'm going to be calling you into this video as well. But I did write in big letters, no dabblers. So no dabblers, meaning if you don't have experience at that level, do not cross the line, all right? So let's talk about Afghanistan. So archaeologists have found that humans, as far back as 50,000 years ago, humans existed in the area of Afghanistan. They were very tribal, small farmers, had very small kingdoms. So they've never really had these kind of mass empires. As far back as 5,000 years ago, Afghanistan started to be invaded again and again and again. And it's like, they call it the, what did I write about the empires? The collapse of empires. Anyway, it has something to do with no empire could ever exist there. So it's like one group would try to invade and they would fail, and then another group would try to invade and they would fail, and another and another and another. So you can look up under Wikipedia, if you really like that kind of detail, to look at all the different civilizations that invaded Afghanistan, and Afghanistan still continues to be invaded. And I'm not getting into all that other stuff. Some dark expressions of evil, I will call it. I'm not going to tap into those darker expressions of evil where there may be a group of people that want to destroy the world. And what I know is that we can find those darker expressions of evil in all areas of the world. So, but I do want to give it an honorable mention to let you know that I'm not being Pollyannish. I'm not trying to, add the sugar bowl and add sweetness to this that's on the surface. But I will share with you the information that I got. But for some reason, it really sparked my curiosity because I really wasn't interested in tuning in there. But just like when the blue star beings came in and told me I needed to go to China, I went to China. I've written a lot of blogs about that, but I do follow those strong imprints from Spirit, and this particular one with Afghanistan was a very strong imprint. All right, Afghanistan is one of the most diverse geological foundations that has a significant mineral heritage of over 1,400 different minerals, gems, like if they have gold and copper, 1,400. So you can actually tune into Dr. Google.
I'm not a doctor.
And look up the minerals, Wikipedia, the minerals just for Afghanistan. So I thought, in my Nancy mind, that, okay, a lot of people want the minerals. because I understand Ukraine is quite similar. So, but here we are in Afghanistan, all these empires wanted the minerals. Well, it's like, nope, they wanted the travel rights. So apparently Afghanistan is very centrally located, and that it can have some of the easiest routes to different directions in the east. So Afghanistan is one of the richest mining regions in the world and almost untapped. I mean, they're still very much an ancient culture, not as modernized as we are here in the United States. And to give you an example of that, the railway, they finally completed the railway in Afghanistan in 2010, their first railway. So if that gives you an idea about how kind of back in time they are, that really spoke to me. All right. So now, here we go.
So excited.
So I went in, I'm sitting here, I'm laughing because my editor is I'm gonna get a call on this one too.
Yeah, hi, Nancy.
So I'm laughing.
You pausing for dramatic effect?
About just how when I went to tap in, how kind of taken aback I was. I was like, what? Wait, what's happening? This is not going the direction that I thought it was going to go. So let me just jump in. So for me, I go into deep meditation and I really go deep. I ground myself really deep. I get my own energies in the flow. I get in a really neutral place by sitting on my pineal so that I can be neutral about any of the frequencies that are coming through. So I'm going to read to you what I experienced. Pushing on my third eye. So my third eye would be here. You all have one. You have a spiritual eye here. Pushing on my third eye, almost like an energy is attempting to crawl into my head. So that's the first thing I noticed. And then I hear the words, you must talk about us. Talk about who? I asked. And then I'm shown a vision of men dressed in white robes and all in white, and I can hear the chanting of men. So there's this kind of rhythmic chanting, almost like monks, like you would hear monks chanting. Now, it was all men, but I did see women who were also in white robes that were kind of moving in and out of my vision while the men were singing. But I was also very aware that it felt like the frequency was way under the country of Afghanistan, that it was really deep. In my ancient vision, is this an ancient vision, I asked? Or is it an ancient story? Or is it a frequency? So that was the question I asked. Or are there male groups chanting prayers for Afghanistan? So let me explain how sometimes as a psychic, I can't always tell the difference. So just like you may be saying prayers, like right now, many of us are saying prayers for Ukraine, and we're saying prayers for Gaza and Israel, and we're often offering prayers, or during the pandemic, we're offering prayers. Many people are getting together and praying. So sometimes I can see the image and I can hear the prayers, but it's from a very present time moment, meaning it's actually happening here now. But so I didn't know if monks were praying for Afghanistan and saying healing, chanting prayers, that sense of from the underground coming up from underneath, or was this a really ancient culture that I was listening to that no longer exists? So that's why I asked the question. And I said, I cannot discern at this point. So I'm going to be kind of sending this frequency out. I want you to feel that beautiful frequency of this light of the white-robed ones that are way under the earth. That's the tapestry that is weaving that frequency of Afghanistan throughout the tapestry of humanity and this earth, and it's the healthier aspects, the healthier frequencies. So then I write, I'm feeling a lot of trepidation. I'm feeling caution. I'm having a sense that I need to tread gently. And then I hear the words,
be quite cautious and gentle, Nancy.
as you tune into the frequencies of Afghanistan. So at this point, I thought it would be wise for me to call in my own ancestors, my spiritual team, my spiritual guides. Now they're always there, but I use the term snuggle up. It's kind of circle the wagons, and it's like, can you move in a little bit? And then I have them move in front of me as well. So I have this sense that I need a stronger support spiritually. Now, in all the times I've been doing the blue light hotspots, this has not happened. So I call in my spiritual support team closer to me. And then I'm told that I am standing on sacred ground. So this is the message that came from the white-robed ones. I am standing on sacred ground, and there are forces that do not wish the light here to flourish. We haven't talked about that much. We just know there's a lot of goodness in the world, and there's a lot of not so good things in the world. So this is exactly the message that I got. I am told we are standing on sacred ground, and there are forces that do not wish the light here to flourish. Now, when I've done the other blue light hotspots, I am clearly in my meditation room, and if I'm doing Australia, it's where Australia is, and it's where I am. But when it came to Afghanistan, it's like I dropped fully into this vision, like my feet were on the ground there. And then I heard, you are on sacred, holy ground. And it was like, oh, wait a minute, I have to get back to my house. All these things are going through my mind. And then, and so again, there are forces here that do not wish the light here to flourish. The information, you guys, it started coming in so fast, so much faster than I could write down or take it in. So now at this point, I just start writing one word. So the first word that comes in is I'm shown this purple energy. So it's like a eggplant purple, really dark. It's very tight. It's very contracted. And I hear that it is afraid to open. So again, there's this beautiful sacred blue light, but there is fear encased around it, and it is limited by the fear frequency in that culture. And then I hear secrecy, protection, and snuffing out the light. So secrecy, protection, snuffing out the light. I began to see like this white billowy energy that was all around, almost like, you're walking into a deep fog, or you're trying to drive in really deep fog, and you just have to pull off the road because you just can't see your way in front of you. That's what it felt like to me. So I write, no feeling, I can only feel secrecy. It's not allowing me even an ounce of clues to come my way. So as a psychic healer who's been doing this work a long time, I do know that I can often negotiate my way in behind a wall of secrecy if the client is asking me to attempt to do that. So I ask permission of the holy ones to have access to the information. And then I have to tell you, I felt a frequency of a Christian culture that was hidden underneath the ground, while there was this mushroom cloud above. Now, I did go look that up later, and it does turn out that there is a Christian community in Afghanistan. So the frequency of their prayers I really felt them. Okay, let's see. So the pressure now on my third eye and the pressure on me feels pretty intense. And then I hear my guide say, Nancy, we need you to now travel in your astral body. We need you to move high, high, high above the Earth's atmosphere to get an enormous amount of distance between you and what you're looking at in Afghanistan. So for those of you who are not familiar with the term astral body, we have our physical body, we have our energetic body that, if somebody comes walking up to you and they get a little too close, you step back a little bit, that means they've maybe gotten a little too close to your aura. Well, the astral body, it has its own auric field that can travel to the dream world or travel to other dimensions. Again, Blue Light Hotspot, first time I've been asked to go into my astral body. So this is where it gets interesting. Tell me more. As if it's not interesting enough already. So my guides asked me, we need you to travel high above into kind of outer space to the outer atmosphere and look back at the country of Afghanistan. And I can tell you, all I can see is this kind of mushroom cloud of secrecy won't let me through. Now, as a healer, as a nurse, I like to just jump right in there and start clearing those clouds. But I was really told to be to tread lightly in a cautious manner. So I didn't touch. So traveling to gain distance to see more clearly. I saw an upside down, there was the clouds parted a little bit. I saw an upside down dagger that was with the blade pointing up. And it was large, like it could go up 30,000 feet. So remember, it's metaphorically, symbolically. I went out to outer space, and as I traveled further, they had me keep going further and further and further away until I could feel some relief of this pressure. So the dagger, I didn't read it. I didn't look into it. I was not interested because, again, remember, as a psychic, every time you kind of tune in a little bit deeper to get more information, you're more kind of locked in. And it was very clear I was not to do that. All right, so this is the interesting part. So I get pretty far out there in my astral body. I'm looking back at the world, our beautiful, beautiful world. And then I could see this kind of black, it's like a black cord. It's like it's buried deep in Afghanistan, and it's passing me in outer space. And so it goes way out. I can't tell where the end of it is. So I'm super curious. I'm like, I start kind of traveling along that cord that I saw because I want to see where the other end of it is. If one end of it's in Afghanistan, I want to see where the other end of it is. I'm like crazy curious that way. And I had my team of spirit guides flying with me. I get to a certain point out there in outer space, and I am told that I had gone as far as Nancy, is allowed to go. That's what I was told. I'm not allowed to go further. Let's see here. Outer space, black cord, to what planet? I ask. Beyond where I can travel, I am held back. So then it gets a little crazier. So now I see this black dragon, and this black dragon comes out of the darkness of outer space. Oh my God. Oh my God, nobody's ever going to take me seriously again. But this black dragon comes down, and it comes down to Afghanistan, and then it goes down, and I can't see it for the cloud. So I'm not allowed to interfere. I'm not allowed to interfere. And I said, all right, I get that. I'm not allowed to interfere. But like, where's the blue light? Why did you want me to talk about this as a blue light hotspot? I haven't seen any blue light yet. And then they showed me this dark lapis blue laser pointed out to outer space. So it wasn't pointed to Afghanistan, it was pointed to outer space. Oh my God. The blue is focusing its light in a place far away in the galaxy. And as the healing in Afghanistan has its roots in another dimension, in another cosmic place. So what they were showing me was we might want to focus our prayers and want Afghanistan to heal so that it no longer has to keep being invaded or fighting or expressing, evil, but that it can get healed. And so what I was told was that the source, like, it has to get healed out there, and then the healing will come all the way down to the earth and then heal Afghanistan and areas around. So it is a blue focused light. I will let you know it's a very dark blue focused light, and it is extremely healing at a really potent, fast-paced level. So then I'm asked to pull back. So now I'm in my astral body, I'm out in this other dimension, and now I hear my guidance say, you need to pull back. It's almost like, all right, you're running out of oxygen, you need to get back to Earth. So I'm asked to pull back, so I come back, and then the white-robed ones, are they still there, I asked. And then I asked, are you Amma? Are you that diamond group that came through with the solar eclipse? And are you like really in Afghanistan, or are you a projected version of Afghanistan? So the answers that came back, they said there are those in service on the earth who know they're being called to assist. So this information came from the white-robed ones that I call Amma. So they said, yes, they are Amma. Yes, they are in their galaxy. Yes, the image I saw and the sounds I heard are projections of Amma. There is a lot of diamond and silver light that's coming in, to include blue with Afghanistan, to do there's some rapid healing on a multidimensional level that's happening. And so I got super excited about that. I'm super excited about it. But for those of you who don't know me, I'm kind of practical. Like, I'm not one that really ventures out into what might be considered the fantastical. However, let me bring it back here, because this is where the white-robed one said there are those already here on earth that are in service on the earth, who know that they are being called to assist. So they told me that I didn't have the skill and ability to move further out in the galaxy, that I was limited. But they did say that there are some of you out there who have already been working at that level, and that you're going to listen to this and you are already going to know what I'm talking about, and it's not going to sound strange to you at all, and that if you are called to participate, you will. But the blue celestial beings of light and the white-robed ones said, no dabblers. So if some of you are like, that sounds super cool, I'm going to play with that, they're saying there's just some big energies happening right here. There's some big energies. Like, if you had two countries that were both in tanks shooting off bombs at each other, you wouldn't go jump in the middle of them and start dancing around saying, let me heal you. It's like, and I don't know if that's what's happening out there, because I couldn't see it. I wasn't allowed to see it. And I was like, do I have to talk about this? Do I have to mention this? Can I just put that down as having a conversation? And it was like, nope, you need to talk about it. So I'm talking about it. Now I'm going to move on. So just lots of love to you all out there who are really tuning in with the blue light frequencies and all the ways that the world's being healed right now. It does make a lot of sense. When we had the solar flares, we had the aurora borealis. Since then, we've had another big surge of the cosmic blue that's coming in. But this is a separate blue same, but its focus is in outer space, not here on Earth, but it is somehow connected to Afghanistan. I cannot wait for those of you out in our world that's doing this work to illuminate my curiosity, feed my curiosity, to help me understand a little bit more about what's going on. Now, please know I'm going to be doing a free workshop in June. The link is going to be here. You want to know much more about intuition, the link will be here as well, so you can fill it out to know what your intuitive style is. And yeah, the world just is changing very rapidly before my eyes, and I know it's changing rapidly before your eyes, but I think you all are doing fantastic, just putting one foot in front of you along the way. All right, bear with my fantastical story, and I look forward to reading your comments and seeing you on the next Blue Light Hotspot. Bye-bye.